Good morning, grade R's. We've come to our next patterns lesson. Today we're going to be looking at different shapes. When we look at shapes, remember, we would like to identify the defining characteristics of each shape. We are going to pay close attention to the amount of sides, the amount of corners, and the plane or the surface. I'm going to present a variation of different shapes. Let's look closely at them. The first shape is a circle. As we look at our circle, we can see that it has one side that goes round and does not end. There are indeed no corners. It has also got one plane on the top. Good. We can get circles in different sizes, but a circle remains in the same shape regardless of the size of the circle. The next shape is similar to a circle. Instead, it is half of a circle, also known as a semicircle. This shape is interesting in that it has a circular or curved edge, and then it has a straight edge. How many corners does this shape have? Well, let's go and count. On the top, where the circular line and the straight line meet, is one corner. At the bottom, where the straight line and the circular line meet, is another corner. The semicircle has got 2 corners and 2 sides. It's only got one plane. Let's have a look at a different shape. Let's choose a shape with a few more corners. What about this shape? Yes, a square. A square is an interesting shape in that all 4 sides are exactly the same. This side is the same length as this side, which is the same length as this side, and the same length as this side. Let's count and see how many sides our square has. 1, 2, 3, 4. And where those sides meet, we will find our corners. Let's count our corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And it only has one plane on the top. Let's choose another form that also has 4 corners and 4 sides that is not a square. What shape is this one? A diamond. Now a diamond is an interesting shape in that it's got 2 sides that are exactly the same and 2 sides that are slightly either longer or shorter, but also exactly the same. Now this diamond has got equal sides. In other words, this side is equal in length to this side, which is the same in length as this side and the same as this side. Again, where each of these sides meet, we will find a corner. So let's count our corners. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, and 1, 2, 3, 4 sides with 1 plane. Now our last shape that we are going to look at comes in different forms. Let's have a look at a variety of these. Can you guess what shape this is? Indeed, these are triangles. Now, what is very important about a triangle is that it only has 3 sides. Let's count the sides of each triangle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Even though they do not look the same, they are all triangles. They've all got 3 sides, and they've all got 3 corners, and they've all got 1 plane. Now we are going to figure out making patterns using shapes. Let's remember what we need when we make a pattern. We need a rule. The rule I'm going to use today is going to be triangle, circle, semicircle, triangle, circle, semicircle. Let's do it. Triangle, circle, semicircle. What comes next? Triangle, circle, semicircle. Now, boys and girls, as you can see, these shapes are touching one another in a specific way. We call that their relationship. What is the relationship between the triangle and the circle? Well, the corner of the triangle is touching the side of the circle. What is the relationship between the circle and the semicircle? The edge of the circle is touching the corner of the semicircle. And as the rule continues to continue the pattern, what is the relationship of the semicircle and the triangle? Yes, both their corners are touching. Now, if you were to continue this pattern, what do you think you need to do in order for the rule and the relationship between the different parts to stay the same? You keep the rule and the relationship exactly the same. Boys and girls, we are going to test out a variety of patterns using these different shapes. Let's have a look at a different pattern. The next pattern that we're going to make is going to be a circular pattern. Let's use the rule square, diamond, square, diamond. Can you think what comes next? That's right. Square, diamond, square, diamond, square. square, diamond. Now, boys and girls, when we look at this pattern, we can see a rule and we can identify the relationship between the different shapes. Let's think of the rule first. The rule is first a square, then a diamond. Good. The relationship between the different forms is that, can you see? They are only touching on their corners. The sides are not coming into contact. Every corner is just touching. And what is the result of this circular pattern? We get a beautiful, bright star in the center. Now, the last pattern that we are going to do today is called a spiral pattern. Let's put our shapes away. And let's think, what is a spiral? A spiral is a form, a pattern in and of itself, in fact, where a line starts in the center and it gradually grows in a circular way. The key to a spiral is that the sides of the spiral never touch. Now let's think of a rule for our pattern. Let's start our pattern off with a circle. And then we're going to have a triangle. And let's use a square. So we've got a circle, triangle, square. That is our rule. What is the relationship between the forms? The corner of the triangle is touching the edge or the side of the circle, whereas the edge of the square is leaning on the edge of the triangle. Now let's continue our rule. Circle, triangle, square. Circle, triangle, square. Oh, that does not look right. There we go. Good. Circle, triangle, and square. As you can see, this form of a spiral pattern is going to be quite complex, but it does look interesting. What do you think it looks like? This could be a ball balancing on a hook, or it could be a man wearing a hat. You can make it into whatever you like. Why don't you ask Mom for a sheet of paper that you can cut up into different shapes, and you can practice forming your own patterns using these shapes by initially designing a rule and then deciding on the relationship between the different shapes to continue your pattern. I hope you have fun, boys and girls. Why don't you look at some of the examples that I have on the screen for you. Have a lovely afternoon until we meet again. Bye.
you.